I'm so psyched that, man, the week is over. Yeah, you're gonna come over and we're gonna watch that that new mountain biking video, right? Yeah, I've got the beers, man. Come on down.
Oh, you're finally home.
Sorry, I gotta go. What's that, honey?
You're gonna work on that bike, right?
You need me to do that
Yeah,
now?
that's why I'm telling you now.
Gosh, dag nabbit! I told you I'd get that done at some point.
So now?
Some point means now.
You don't want to sleep on the couch.
Well, fine. You know, Joe was gonna come over, but now after a hard day's work, I've got to do this. All right, let's go ahead and get into working on the daily again for the missus. So this is Project Honeydew. If you haven't already seen the first video, you should definitely take a watch on that. It was pretty fun getting this together so far. It's been a project that I've put off for a very long time. So I'm happy to start going. But while she might think I'm working on it, we ain't getting it done today because I don't quite have everything. With COVID and all that stuff going on, bike parts have been super hard to get a hold of. So what I have gotten is the stuff to get the cockpit put back on the bike so we can get the stem, all that stuff. I'll show you that. And then I'm hoping with any luck to be able to get the cabling strung for the derailleur. Now, I don't have brake levers yet. I also don't have a few of the small bits to get this accomplished, but let me go ahead and show you what we got to get the fork and the handlebar and stem going back on, and we'll get this thing done. So let's go ahead and start with the parts. Of course, we've got the Acera derailleur that came from the donor bike. I've got the chains from the Alibis that we upgraded earlier, and then I've got the shifter also from the Alibi, and then we're going to get into some of the new parts here. So this right here is a Neko headset. This headset, well, to say that it's low quality is, let's call it generous. But this is the only silver headset that I could get in any reasonable amount of time. And as you can see here, it's a loose ball bearing headset. It's, well, it's not very good. But luckily this isn't a main bike. So if you're looking at these, well, I might find something else. And then we're gonna have this this threadless stem. So this is something that I was able to get from my local bike shop here. And Dimension makes some pretty nice stuff. So if we pull this out of the package, it's a pretty good looking stem. Definitely think it's gonna look nice. Of course, 25.4 and then 1.1/8" threadless. So that'll work. And then another thing I'm really excited about, well, that's gonna be these grips. So this came from Trek, and you can see this is like it's a canvas material. It's got chrome or polished metal, I should say, on the outside here. And I really like that it's lock-on. So this is gonna look pretty nice. We'll keep the plastic on, you know, keep it protected, because with my greasy mitts, this thing's gonna go bad real quick. And then the last thing to look at here is this Sunrace Adapter. What this adapter does, this is a 27mm offset adapter, but this is going to go right on the rear axle and adapt it to have a derailleur hanger. So if you take a look, it's going to hang out right there. And let me get this to where you can see a little bit better. It's going to hang out right there, and it's going to drop the rear derailleur just down below, so that way it can work fine. And this is affixed using this little nut on the back. So we'll go ahead and have to get that set up, but that should work out fine. So the first thing we're gonna start with is gonna be the headset. We gotta get that pressed in. So to do that, I've got my handy Park Tool headset press. We'll use that, but we gotta get everything greased up, get those cups in there, and let's get it done. So with everything set up here, this is where we're gonna start getting things greased up. We'll start with the lower cups and toss the gloves on here. That way we can pretty easily put some grease into the frame. But we want the cups to press in nice, clean, and smooth. And the little bit of grease is because we want it to be able to be quiet. You know, if we don't put it in with grease, what could happen is you would end up with a pretty creaky headset. which is no good. And especially when you're doing this for somebody else, we'll take just a little bit of grease on the headset cups. Put that one there. Little bit of grease. Boom. So both of those greased up a little bit. We can get this pressed in. I don't know if the lower will stand or sit just by putting in by hand, but there we go. So we'll get the tool slid right in just like that. Get our other side on. So now I'm just gonna start pressing these cups in, and we're gonna make sure they bottom out. And basically when we get a decent amount of load like that, it's gonna be tight enough. Take a look around. Looks good. Oh, there we go. That'll do it. So the headset press out of the way, now we can start test fitting everything. So the next step here is we've got to get the race onto the fork. So what a race is it's this metal piece that slides down bottom of the fork right there, and that's what's going to allow the bearing to actually sit onto it. So that rides against the bearing, which the bearing then rides into the frame. So this goes just like that. Pretty simple. So at this point, I'm not totally sure how I'm going to get this done because I don't exactly have the right tool for this job. It's one of those things that I've just overlooked, and well, you overlook it once, you overlook it a couple of times, and then push comes to shove. You don't have what's needed. So what I need to do, and I'll see if it's going to be as simple as tapping down this way, but I need to get this race seated. And normally you'd have a tube, kind of knock it upside down. Hey, that's working. So with the race installed, it's now time to test fit this into the frame, because ultimately I need to make a mark on where I'm going to cut the steerer. And basically, because this bike is really just a toy, this is going to be an aesthetic choice on how many spacers are going to go underneath. Now, it should be mentioned, if this was a bike you cared about, you might want to do better than this. We'll do a nice carbon steer or carbon spacer just for the fun of it. What do you think? One spacer look okay? Let me grab another. So let's do one more, see what that looks like. Interesting to note, we're not going to be using these spacers. I'm going to get some silver ones, but that's 10 mils, and I just haven't been able to find any silver ones. But nonetheless, it'll happen. Let's get that together. Tighten this up here. Yeah, I think that'll look good. 210, so 20 millimeters of total spacer. I can find 210 polished. And then now, because we're gonna have to cut this, I'm just gonna score right above the stem. So we give a little score mark right on the steerer there, and that means when I take this all apart, I'm gonna have the spot that I'll need to cut that. Boom. So you see, there's the little score mark. Now I'm not really worried if I cut this wrong, but remember, if it's something you care about, make sure you check this a few times, because pressing everything in, this might get adjusted, and you definitely don't want to go too short, but we're gonna be fine right here. Now I'll get to use my handy dandy little cutting guide. So what this guide's gonna allow me to do is basically, I want to be about 5 millimeters cut below the line that was drawn. Now we can start to cut. All right, there we are. Nice, clean, flat cut. So as you can see, came off pretty easy. Take off our guide. You're gonna get a pretty nice cut. But of all the things that I have, I don't have files for some stupid reason. So of course we're gonna use a box cutter, because you can do anything with a box cutter, so long as you buy enough blades. Now we've got to put the star nut in the top. So nicely, that Neko headset came with a star nut here, and I've got a pretty neat tool for this star nut. So what you do is you basically thread it on there. We'll take our hammer right here, block of wood to keep everything from getting messed up. Boom, right down in there. So just like what we were looking for, it's perfect. So on loose ball bearing headsets like this, grease is going to be so super important. Same is going to be true down low. Got all that. Now we're going to take the grease, make sure it gets all over that that bearing set. Magic. I'm gonna get silver ones, so don't get too upset about the color there. There we go. Go ahead and tighten this puppy up for now. There you go. Well, my friends, this is looking like a bike. We got handlebar on there now. Definitely taking shape. I like the look of it. So now the next step is, of course, going to be, let's get that front wheel on there. That way this can be a roller. And then we got to tackle the shifting. So just go ahead and slide the wheel right up there. Perfect. Now the next piece is going to be taking care of getting that rear axle adapter on. We're just simply going to remove the rear wheel here. So just like this, should come out no problem. Nice and easy. Whoops, there we go. So what we're going to do now is get that adapter mounted up. So basically, it's just going to slide into place here. Should work reasonably simple. Huh, well that's annoying. This must be designed for a steel frame, because that that bolt is ever so slightly not long enough. So time to go see if I've got another one of these. Well guys, that's gonna thwart the end of today. So this adapter definitely appears like it's gonna work. It sits in just like it should. It kind of should go right in just like that. But unfortunately, the width of the little spacer, the adapter, that's supposed to be able to allow this to bolt onto the frame. The nut is just not long enough. I've been going through a bunch of my old stuff, you know, just in those boxes of parts that you have. And unfortunately, this guy just isn't going to install today. So at least we can get the brake to go on here. So I'm going to take this guy. Actually, that spacer needs to go on. Slide through the frame just like that. Then we'll take the multi-tool. And there you go. Well guys, I may have failed again at getting this bike built, but at least we can say we tried. We got it a little bit further, and my couch is pretty comfortable, so that's where I'll be until the next video. So be sure you hit that subscribe button, that way you can see the next version of my failure at getting this bike built. Be sure to hit a thumbs up, it lets me know that you enjoyed the video, and don't forget, leave the comments all the stupid things I should have done to actually get this done down in the comment section below.